That was past me.
Yeah,
You win it
present-
over there, Ito.
Present me knows better.
Yeah, present me know what future me wants.
And an alarm is just like a gentle nudge to like stop like an hour later, you know.
Yeah, that's it. It's like this. It's the opposite of a snooze button.
Yeah.
It's just an early alarm.
Okay, so good news, it's on. So everything,
Ooh.
yeah, everything looks.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, so actually part of it is on. So I'm streaming, but I'm not recording. So I'll just trust YouTube to do the recording for me.
I can send you the recording. I maybe you can even rip the recording from your own stream later.
Yeah, that's probably
Have that
fine.
enabled.
Okay, so only 30 minutes late. It probably is, much better than,
Better than 2 weeks.
yeah.
Yeah, better than 2 weeks.
All right, let's go kill a dragon.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
dragon is already dead. We don't need to kill
Fair
the
point.
dragon.
Let's go kill an
Just
undead dragon.
Talk with the Ice Witch, convince her to come with us, and everything is fine.
It's
And
not
right.
completely dead.
And
Just
re-kill her
dead.
dragon. Just partially dead.
Almost dead.
Almost dead.
Yeah, mostly dead.
Mostly,
Mostly
mostly dead, yeah.
Just mostly dead.
Okay, so last time you guys decided to head to the witch's hideout after the king of the Elk tribe asked you to defend his daughter. She's the Ice Witch, apparently, and if possible, you are to cure her of the taint that got hold of her, and to do that, you need to take her away from the dragon's proximity or lair or whatever, and take her to Evermelt, which is a sacred pool in the middle of the icy tundra. You tried to understand what Wyneth and what was her name? Froya, I think. Yes, Froya. The two younger sisters of the Ice Witch. What are they all about? And I think you saw Wyneth sliding a scroll case into her cloak, and Froya was a little bit concerned about Harshnag joining you. Froya gave Rukvi a healing potion. She told you that you need to drink it before you go to sleep. But you guys figured out that both of the sisters are probably are planning to kill the Ice Witch and not heal her or fix her or whatever. You started to journey towards the witch's hideout, which Anderest has basically the correct direction. And you were attacked by plague people. These are savages from 10 towns. At least that's what you were told. Anderist found that these people should have been dead from all kinds of diseases that affected their body, but some magic allowed them to live. Anderist also found a tattoo of a screaming mouth with an eye inside of it on each of of those plague people. And the sisters told you that the evil people of 10 towns brand the sick and banish them away from civilization, basically, to let them die in the snow, which kind of symbolizes how evil and uncivilized these townspeople are. Chazra, however, told Anderist that maybe the hag might help to discern more information about those plague people. You went to sleep and you all had a similar dream in which you met the demon that you made a contract with. That was due to your message to it that you wanted to renegotiate the contract. It demanded a drop of blood from Harshnag to change the wording of the contract to allow you to survive longer, but you guys refused. However, Anderist got a razor-sharp scalpel from the demon, which you kind of put away. I think you took it, right?
Yep, I have.
Yeah, okay. Then the sisters tried to convince you to attack first instead of going in and talking to the Ice Witch, and they kind of took advantage of a message that the Ice Witch sent to Andorist. They kind of blamed Andorist. Look, he's talking to her. She affected his mind. You should not trust him. And then they told you to grab Andorist. So there was some argument there, and eventually you guys decided to, of course, not attack Andorist. And the Ice Witch told you that she is waiting for you at a specific cave in peace. If you will come, unarmed and in peace too, she is willing to talk to you. So Froya basically tried to convince you guys that Andorist is under the witch's hold, and in response, Andorist kind of told everyone, listen, this sister is dealing with some assassins. And you basically exposed Froya's association with the Screaming Eyes. So she admitted that she hired them to assassinate the king after Andorist forced her using a spell. I think it was suggestion or something like that.
Yep.
Wyneth and her scouts attacked Froya, wounded her, she fled. Andorist sent his dog after the Shadow Hound after her. It returned with evidence of her death. Wyneth then ran back to the camp to try and save the king, her father. She left you to investigate the witches' camp on your own. And I think we stopped the game with all of you kind of arguing about what just happened, with Forgar not very pleased with what Andorist did, and Rukvi also was quite unhappy with what's going on. And in all this, Galen found that he could split into Galen and a soulless companion. This is how we call it.
Nega Galen.
Yes. And this creature, this thing, told Galen that he can scout the area for him, and Galen sent him forth to see what the creature can ascertain about the witch's lair. And this is where we stopped last time. Am I missing something?
I think you got it all.
Okay.
Don't think so.
Okay. So, what do you do?
Does anybody remember, did I use heightened magic to give what's her name disadvantage on suggestion?
I'm sorry?
No.
Did you what?
When I cast suggestion on the princess, did I use heightened magic to give her disadvantage? I don't think I did, because I didn't recall. You think so? Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think it
I feel like I did. Plus I summoned my hound. So I'm going to convert a second level spell slot into 3 sorcery points. Okay. Alright, sorry. Administrative task. I think we should follow the shadow Galen.
I think we should let it scout for us.
Yeah,
Yes.
follow behind it a ways.
Or just wait here for the voice
Yeah.
in my head to come back.
Voice in your head. Could we see it?
So I think I said that you can, but as a blurred image of Galen that is almost transparent.
I cast guidance on the image for the inevitable perception check or stealth check.
Okay, so you cast guidance, and indeed, after maybe half an hour, this thing returns, telling you, Galen, that he can see a canyon leading up to a cave, and he can see bears guarding the canyon on the walls and on the cliffs. And he looked into the mouth of the caves, and all he could see is a deep frozen dark, like an open maw waiting to devour it. So it shuddered and returned to you. He saw gargoyles made of ice watching it as it investigated the opening of the cave.
I'll
That
say
sounds
all
like
that
an
to the
ice.
others, yeah.
How many bears was there?
How many gargoyles or bears?
Both.
Okay, you think he saw something like 4 to 5 bears, and
Actual
gargoyles.
bears?
It's not sure. Maybe bears, maybe people dressed as bears.
Okay.
Like the bear tribe.
Yeah,
And the gargoyles? How many gargoyles?
he counted 3 before leaving the cave.
And those were all in front of the cave or in the cave? Sorry. I
In
missed
the
that
cave.
part.
So think about it's like a tube going into the earth, the icy earth, and there was a staircase, a very slippery one made of ice. There was a stream of cold water running from the height of the canyon into the mouth of the cave, and inside of it, hovering above the stairs, he saw those gargoyles.
So while I was waiting, I'm going to cast Comprehend Languages on myself as a ritual.
Okay, that you did.
Just in
Well,
case.
let's leave our weapons behind and go in.
Yeah,
What
I'm
are,
down with that. You guys
Weapons behind.
leave all your weapons behind.
She wanted us to leave our weapons behind.
Rugby says, I'm not leaving my weapon behind. And what was that?
As I said, it was my companion, the voice in my head.
You really need to get your soul back again.
I'm just going to accept that as okay. And like,
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like,
I have
Alright.
no idea what it is.
Can I make an Arcana check while I'm waiting, by the way, just to see if I know anything about what just happened to
sure?
Galen?
Yeah, go.
Ooh, that's not bad. 22.
wow.
Okay, so all you can kind of understand is that.
Hello?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
Good.
You believe that some form of magical energy now allows Galen to project his image or his consciousness, but without its soul. So it's him, but still without his soul.
Astral projection spell or something.
Something like that.
Okay. File that away.
So,
So then perhaps Galen and me and anybody else who's willing to actually leave their weapons behind should go in first, and the others follow.
do we really need to leave our weapons behind?
I think she'll know if we don't.
Hmm?
I'll follow you without my weapon.
I actually don't carry any weapons.
I have a stick. I'll leave the stick behind.
I'm taking my mocking king because I think I'm going to need it to get down that staircase.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna leave my rapier and my dagger behind, and as well as my short bow and arrows.
Or maybe leave them with. Are you leaving your weapons for her? No, he's frozen.
Oh, he froze.
Who froze?
James.
James.
Oh.
We've lost him. He's dead.
He fell asleep.
Well, it is pretty cold, so.
Right.
But
I think Rugby says, well, I guess I get to look after your weapons because I'm not parting with mine.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest. Follow behind with all the weapons. I'm gonna stuff that like I wanna, I don't know, put a bandage around my wrist or something like that and shove the scalpel up underneath it so it's well hidden.
Okay. What are you doing with Harshnag?
He's
can go
coming
with-
with us.
with
can
Rugby?
wait outside with Forgar. No, sorry, not Forgar, Rugby. Maybe.
Although
with the weapons.
he'd be handy without a weapon too.
He doesn't have a weapon either, I think.
He is
I
a
don't know,
weapon.
yeah, I think he made one.
Yeah, but he lost it to the bears that grabbed it from him.
Yeah, but I think he made some on the way here.
Yeah, he made a club or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But someone should also keep this tooth from the dragon
Right.
outside.
Agreed. Give that to
Mhm.
Rookfi.
Yeah, Rugby is like pulling his backpack out and opening it and just, all right, give me your stuff.
And we can
Okay.
still keep the illusory dragon tooth thing we did. We did it with
Yeah.
prestidigitation, I think, like a really fake looking
Okay.
magic dragon
Oh.
thing.
Yeah, I can keep casting that cantrip while we're doing it. So yeah, so the 3 fighters follow behind with all the weapons, and the monk and the 3 spellcasters go ahead.
I think
By the
Rugby
way,
stays out of following behind. Maybe not going into the cave.
Quarian comes over to Gil and asks him if he wants to maybe shatter the tooth. Have each and every one of us have like a small shard.
Not a bad idea.
But it's a really nice souvenir from the dragon we killed.
Hey, we can repair it later if it's all the same piece. We can mend it back
Yeah.
together later.
We might be able to get more teeth from the dragon after we kill it
Fair point.
again.
We already killed it. It's dead. It's not coming back.
Re-kill it.
Ever. Yeah, fine, let's break the tooth.
That's a great
But
idea.
we should still keep the parts out here. It's stupid to break the tooth and then take all the parts in there.
I pull
No,
out my hammer. All right, put it on a stone.
Well, or I'll give you
Is
my
anybody-
scalpel. Try just like shaving bits off of it with the scalpel.
That'll take too long. Mash.
It's just you just need to get like 1 bit for each of us. Just like it's super sharp. It's a much more elegant thing, and then we can actually reassemble it afterwards.
Yeah, we don't need to shatter it into a million pieces.
Yeah.
I need to shatter something.
Well, we'll go get the witch.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just see if I can
saw a
shave
rock
off
over
some
there.
bits with the scalpel.
Okay. Okay, so Harshnag will be, if you want him, he'll stay behind, but he will accompany you at least to the entrance of the witch's lair.
Good idea.
I
I think
think
Rookfi
that
and
is
Borgar should do the same.
best. And not Borgar, Rugby. Borgar said he would wait behind and come with us, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So as you
Should we-
start, yeah.
can we go inside
No.
with like torches and stuff like that? Or torches allowed?
You believe so? She said weapons.
All right. Okay. I go inside with a torch, a lit torch.
Okay, so you travel along the route that Galen's scout described to you, and indeed you reach a canyon. This canyon is kind of climbing into the mountain, and it's an ice canyon. So you are basically walking between 2 huge glaciers. So everything around you is a bluish white. And as you climb, the ground becomes slippery and muddy. Obviously, a lot of people traversed this canyon before. And after like 30 minutes of climbing, you also see blood smeared into the snow and mud. So you woke up and you find this half-eaten bone thrown on the ground, mixed with mud and ice. And after that, you find the skinned remain of some beast. And a couple more steps beyond that, and you can see 2 huge bears emerging from the sides of the canyon. And indeed, immediately you recognize them as barbarians belonging to the tribe of the bear. They are basically naked from the waist up, but they are covered in the still bloody remains of a bear, as if they killed a bear, carved its insides, and wore it as a costume. And they hold double axes. So they basically stand like this, holding the axe and looking down on you as you walk. Their eyes are painted with dried blood, so you can't even see their pupils. So it's a ghastly visage as you climb up, but they don't do anything other than look down at you. Anything you want to do?
I'll just like keep my hands like up to the side as we pass the first one, and like so they can clearly see that I don't have any weapon on me.
Okay. Harshnag whispers at Peleus, if they will see me, they will attack me on sight. I'm gone. And he doesn't climb the canyon.
Okay, I just not.
Rookie, maybe you should follow
Do we
with Harshnag and wait there with him.
do we have sending stones?
Not on us.
Okay.
Okay, so Rukvi and Harshnag are
Yeah, I
So
think
if-
Rukvi carrying the weapons goes with them.
okay. Okay.
And if you hear screaming, then yeah, come in and help us.
Okay. So Rukvi, as you and Harshnag stay at the bottom of the canyon, Harshnag tells you that in his past, before he was captured by their remorseless captain, he was basically roaming the wasteland and slaughtering his fellow frost giants. But the Reghead tribes, both the Elk tribe and the tribe of the Bear, they did not separate between one giant and another. So all of them are enemies and they will attack them on sight. Harshnag more specifically, and he, as time goes by and your friends don't return. By the way, you should all make new characters. You
Good.
he tells you about his ancient axe. So apparently he was in the possession of a mighty magical axe that was called the Human Bane. It was designed and created and imbued with power to slay humans. And this is why most of the barbarians in the tundra will basically attack him on sight. He is, or at least in his youth, he was a menace to the entire civilization of the tundra, if you will. He doesn't tell you what happened to the axe, because obviously he doesn't carry it.
He doesn't care, or
Doesn't carry
He
it.
doesn't carry it.
I think Rukvi would ask him. If he doesn't say anything, he would ask him, push him. So where is this axe?
So he says that it was taken from me by the foul Drufi, and he refers to the remorseless captain. She gave it to the Zentarim.
Oh, the Zents. Well, it's gone then.
Who gave it to the Zentarim? The Remorseless?
Drufi, the
Yeah.
captain of the remorseless.
Oh, the captain of the Remorseless. Okay.
Yes. Peleus, as you and your friends are climbing up the canyon, you start to see shapes in the ice around you. As I said, you're walking between two huge glaciers. I need you to make a history check.
Okay. History. I'm not very good at history. I rolled a 16 though. That's
Okay.
not too.
Not too bad. So, as you walk up the trail, you realize that you have heard about this place. It is an ancient place of worship called Shaer-Nizzam. It was built, if you know, if you can apply that word to the scenery, by humans in the time in which they had only a spark of intellect. We are talking like, tens of thousands of years ago. And mainly they worshipped dragons at that time. So we're talking about humans like Neanderthal humans building structures of stone, putting a stone on a stone, much like a Stonehenge. And this special formation of rocks that is embedded into the glacier actually reveals that this site was once a place of worship. Basically a temple, an ancient temple.
Okay, I turn to the group and say, this is a place of dragon war. Just so that everyone knows.
Like me?
Maybe, I find out.
As you go up, yes, go ahead.
I would like to talk to my soul companion if I can do that, in my head, as we go along.
What do you want to say?
Having a conversation with myself.
What?
First, I want to ask it if anything is different from when they first scouted here. If it noticed anything that changed.
He says, only the bears, only the bears.
So they have moved around, or
it seems like they.
More or less again?
It seems they were expecting you.
Yes, of course they were. Also, if I don't think we will, but if we get into trouble and need to fight, are you able to help in some way while we're fighting? Should I send you off to do something?
Sure, ask me anything. Anything at all.
Oh god.
But
I'm here to help.
Oh.
Good. So you could move out of my body and punch people?
I can do that, yes, of course. Although I find it warm and safe in your body. You complete me.
Oh god.
Oh, that makes me feel a lot better. But if we get into trouble, you might need to, get out there also and help.
Yes, you just tell me what to punch and I will punch it with my noodly, half-transparent arms.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
It goes straight through probably.
Okay, well, let's see what happens.
Might be able to take the help action though.
Peleus, Chazra kind of attaches herself to you as you go up the trail, and she says, whispering in your ears, "I don't like these bears."
What's wrong
Really?
about bears? I think they like bears actually.
Yes, wearing their skins with all the blood still inside. I don't know. It's.
I guess they're. Well, I can't blame them too much, to be honest. I mean, if they don't have the druidic powers of transforming into a bear, they have to make do something.
Well, I don't know. All I can say that I have a bad feeling about it, and I feel that we didn't have enough time to better to get to know each other better. Maybe if we survive this, we'll spend a quiet evening, just the two of us.
Sure, whatever you want.
She seems happy with that.
Quern is taking a look at the bears, or at the bear men.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that like standing on ledges or something like that? Or
Yes.
Does it seem to be... Or does it look to me like they're standing on stable ground, or on?
Not
Or,
not
like
very
a-
stable. Not very stable. Like ledges and pieces of ice that extend over the canyon.
They see okay, and they don't seem shaky about it. They seem pretty confident about their
Yes.
stance.
Yes, quite.
Okay. How high up are they from us?
It ranges between, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 feet to up to 80 feet.
Oh. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Okay, so soon enough you find yourselves surrounding the cave opening. As you look down into it, you can see that the glaciers kind of leak water as if they are weeping or something like that, and the water puddle on the surface, and then they flow partly down the trail from which you came from, but partly into the mouth of the cave, which isn't very big. It's like a tube inside the glacier itself. So you can still see the bluish ice around you. You can still see the stone shapes that Peleus recognized as this ancient temple of Shaer-Nizzam. And water trickle in, but they trickle in, and just to the left of the stream there are staircases that were carved from the ice itself, so very slippery, and it's freezing cold inside, and the stairs go down into the darkness as well as the stream. But as you simply look into this darkness, you can see pinpoints of blue light that hover inside, something like 40 or 50 feet deep into the tunnel. And do you believe these are those gargoyles that Galen's scout mentioned?
Before going down, I want to secure a rope to some chunk of ice. I can hammer it into it with a spike.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Just so we can have a rope that we can climb back up afterwards.
Okay, so you work a little bit to secure this piece of ice and tie a rope around you and to that spike. At this point, Rukvi, I need you to make a perception check.
21.
21 is amazing. You spot 6 barbarians that are approaching your location. They try to surround you, you and Harshnag. They try to do it stealthily, but you seem to spot them anyway. What do you want to do?
I pat Harshnag's leg probably. I just hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Incoming. 6 of them were being surrounded, and then I push my elk to begin getting up. So I'm gonna get on it.
Okay, so the elk gets up, Harshnag also gets up, and when those barbarians understand that they have been discovered, they simply throw all caution away and simply and directly approach you. So they form this half of a circle around the 3 of you, and one of them points to Harshnag and says to you, Rukvi, "If you but take a step into the canyon, we'll gut you and eat you alive."
Oh, I'm well aware. I'm well aware how hard you'll try. As I get up on my elk and heft my hammer and stand there looking down on him.
All the rest, I'm gonna ask something I haven't asked a D&D group for maybe years. What is your marching order?
Oh god.
Amazing.
I would like
Well,
to be in front.
I would like you to be in front.
Shotgun.
Okay.
And also, if I can, maybe ask my soulless companion to look behind us at all times.
Okay.
Maybe even if he can like look out the back of my head, sing around me
So creepy.
somehow.
That the marching order wouldn't be something that Peleus would be concerned with at this point, so you can choose where he should be.
I would like to be third.
Third. Okay. Who goes second?
I don't know. Peleus is our tank. I think
I
he
can
should
be in front.
either
I
right
mean,
at the
if-
back or
I mean,
second.
as I said, I wouldn't concern myself much with it, and if you like let me like lead the way, I would definitely do it. So
We'll just
I
slot
think
you
it's
in.
reasonable.
Where do the other two want to be?
Am I part of that, or am I on the outside?
No, you're part of that.
Oh, I guess the fourth is next, unless you want me at the
Well,
back.
there's five of us. So where
Yeah.
do you want to be? Back?
I'll be up the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian,
Corey?
sometimes we can't hear your voice. I don't know if it's the voice detection is not sensitive enough, but
Maybe.
like right
I'll
now.
just move closer to my mic. Can't hear me at all?
Really,
Right now I hear
heard
you.
everything.
I see his lips
Okay.
moving, but nothing's coming out. Sometimes.
Interesting.
I feel
So-
like there's a
Alright.
joke in there
So,
somewhere.
so Galen first, or is Peleus first?
I think
Galen
I'm first.
first.
Galen first.
Oh,
Galen
Galen,
first,
okay, I'm
Peleus
second then.
Peleus second, Ender is third, Quarian afterwards. Okay, and Forgar at last. Forgar, make a perception check as you duck your head and go into the cave.
We made a huge mistake.
12.
12. Okay, so
Above average.
you scan the horizon as you go deep into the cave, like for the last time. Like I don't know if it's the last time, but maybe you have a feeling it's the last time. And you think, and you think you spot a red cloud somewhere up there, just beyond the mountains. And then you kind of blink and it's gone. You look around, okay, and you go into the cave again.
We've seen red clouds before, right?
Yeah,
Like, I feel like this
truly.
happened.
several times.
Oh. Alright,
Okay, so
cool.
you are in the cave, and oh my god, I made such a huge mistake here. You are in the cave, and you begin to feel the cold, and it's very, very dark. And you have those blue pinpoints of lights kind of in the dark. They fade in and fade out, and there is this cold evil in the air. What do you do?
This is a reminder, I have 120-foot dark vision.
Okay, amazing.
I'm probably holding a torch.
Okay,
I'm holding a torch as well.
okay, torches are fine.
Order.
Yeah,
You don't have dark vision.
I'm blind. That's all.
Torch.
It's good to be in the back.
Torch.
Well, we have,
Yeah,
Like-
I have a
like-
torch.
two people with light at least, so you should be able
Mhm.
to see it.
I can give you a torch as well.
Cool.
Okay,
I'll rock a torch.
Keep going. I don't think we have any reason to believe the gargoyles are going to attack us. The barbarians didn't.
Well,
okay,
as long as we don't break the rules you were told, I think we should be safe.
okay.
Mhm.
I need you all, as you slowly descend the slippery staircase, as those pale points of light kind of look at you. I need you to make a perception check.
Ooh, a 5.
19.
I have a
Oh.
soulless companion looking out for me. I don't need to be aware.
I got
Just
a
walking
20.
around obliviously.
And
Doesn't he get
probably
advantage
strike
on
my
all
voice.
perception
Yeah.
checks?
So Galen,
Two sets of eyes.
how much did you do?
5.
Oh, 5. So yes, so it's kind of strange because you look to the front and to the back at the same time. So it's kind of whoa, what's going on? Okay, Peleus, how did you do?
23.
23 is amazing. Andrist?
12.
Okay. Quarian?
20.
Amazing. Forgar?
Here, I thought my 19 was good.
Okay.
It is. Don't you worry.
Oh, thanks, Brad.
So you descend the staircase, and the temperature starts to drop and drop and drop and drop to the point that the torch almost emits no heat. And at this point, you all feel that this is unnatural cold, like a magical frost that grabs at your bones. The staircase ends like hundreds of steps into the deep of the earth. It ends in a huge hallway, an empty one, cold and damp, and in the middle of it stands a tall stalagmite or stalactite. It doesn't matter because they connect eventually. So two pillars, one going down from the tall ceiling, one is emerging from the top, and they are covered with tiny runes, as if someone carved into them very meticulously for hours and hours, runes. And the frost here is too overpowering. I need you all to make Constitution saving throws.
Wow.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm not good at
Amazing. Neither am I.
Oh, no.
Exhaustion,
Four.
exhaustion levels again, I assume.
I got a 1.
Quarian has a 13.
Okay. Forgar?
Forgar got a 16.
16. And Galen?
Alias 4.
Yeah, 13.
And there is only one? Okay. So everyone beside Forgar take 1 level of exhaustion. So you have disadvantages on ability check. And at this point, the ice witch appears. She like emerging from nowhere. She circled the pillar, wearing a heavy-set cloak that appears to be made of the fur of an elk, or at least the skin and the hide. And she wears a crown, displaying the horns, the magnificent entanglement of horns that are obviously belong to an elk. And her blue eyes resemble those of the gargoyles that you've seen hovering above the staircase. And she says, "I see you have come, bearing no weapons, as promised. You are men and women," as she nods to Chazra, "of honor. I respect that."
Do we see the bones of the dragon?
No.
Is this the room I saw in my vision?
No.
Okay, so it's farther on.
At this point, Rukvi, as the barbarians are around you, you need to make a perception check. And I will make one for Harshnag as well.
Total 20.
Oh, amazing, because Harshnag failed miserably. So, Rukvi, do you remember that I told you that Galen, when he separated, you can actually see this creature emerging out of it and moving? You see another one, very similar in the experience, like a semi-transparent creature, humanoid-like, go behind the barbarians and walks past them, past you and Harshnag, and up the canyon. And as it moves, you feel as, this thing is bad news.
Okay. So when I see it coming to me, when I first see it, I immediately instinctively use Divine Sense to see if it's fiend, undead, or celestial.
Okay, I will tell you in a minute.
So that's 2 uses of that already.
You detect Fae as well, right?
It's until the end of turn, you know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of you.
None of
How do you
those.
know
None of those.
How do you know Fae?
And then as it comes towards me and as it passes me, I say, "You, stop!"
So one of the barbarians looks up at you and says, "You said what?"
And then
It simply moves like through you, and you feel your skin feels as if 1,000 knives cut it. Okay, so this is bad, and it moves past you and into the canyon, climbing up.
Well, as it's climbing up, then I spur my elk, and I want to go in front of it.
The barbarians immediately rise and throw their weapons up. You will not. You shall not pass.
Shield up, then. I want to just break through them.
Okay, so you guys roll initiative. Rukvi and Harshnag. In the meantime, Rukvi with a natural 1. Okay.
And Harshnag got a 9.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't how you die. Oh, man.
I'm gonna turn into an axe porcupine.
Okay. So
What about Harshnag? Can his player like reroll a character?
Okay.
Narshhog.
So Galen, Forgar, Quarian, Anderist, and Chazra. The Ice Witch is looking at each one of you, and you feel shaken, as if her eyes can simply command you to do things that you don't want to do. Make perception checks.
Ooh, I got a 23.
Okay.
Nice. I got a 9.
Remember disadvantage.
Oh,
Right,
damn it.
right. Disadvantage because of...
7.
With disadvantage 17.
Okay.
I got a 19. 19 with a disadvantage.
Great. So Quarian and Galen, you believe you feel or hear a chanting going on, but it's so faint that it's probably coming from somewhere within this either room, or maybe there are rooms beyond this one. So it's like this ebbing and flowing chant, and there's evil in its core, but you almost don't hear it. It's almost not there. And she says, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I want to hear what she says.
Quarian is trying to do a counter charm. Counter charm. It means that he's starting a performance. Takes like 1 action.
Okay.
And it gives myself and all friendly creatures within 30 feet of me an advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
So is it like is it a song? Is it a music? It's a
song.
Okay.
It's a song that I sing. Yeah.
Okay. So Quarian starts singing, and immediately she turns her head at you, and you have the feeling as if a viper suddenly fixated on you. Yep.
When she fixates on him, I'm going to slip the crown on my head and summon an earth elemental, but I want to keep it underground. I don't want it to reveal itself.
Okay. So
we're in a natural cavern now, right? It's stone?
It's ice stone. Yes, you can definitely summon it here. No problem.
Perfect. So yeah, I'm just going to spend my action summoning it. And I'm going to telepathically connect with her, and I'm just going to say, Your Highness, and hopefully she looks over and also sees me wearing a crown.
I would like to go off to the side and just ask my shoulder companion to maybe, like, if we are like out of sight from her, just go find out where the chanting is coming from.
Oh, of course, I'd be delighted. I revel in exploring cold, damp caves.
This guy's so sassy. I love him.
You give me the best chores. So he lives. She looks at you, Andorist, because you kind of talk to her, and she looks at all of you and says, "So go on, spill it. The king wants me back in his court, isn't he?"
Yes, but you and I both know that's not going to happen.
She smiles, and her smile is as cold as the deep winter's night.
What do you want?
I want my soulmate back. And you have killed him.
He started.
He started. I'm rubber, you're glue.
Them's the rules, lady.
I'm gonna just I just need to move a little bit away from my companions. I just need to make sure that I'm 10 feet away from any one of you guys.
Okay.
Anyways, and what will you do when you have him back? Will he try and kill us again?
We will rule the tundra as king and queen.
You didn't answer my question.
I think it did answer your question.
You mortals should bow to your king and queen. Will you bow for me? Andres, remind me your race? You're human?
No, Azamar.
Okay. She still says human. Will you bow to me, human? And she looks directly in your eyes. And I need you to make I think it's a
what save?
Yeah, what save, exactly. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, I've got a plus 20 to what?
It's a suggestion spell.
So that's wisdom, I believe?
Wisdom, yes.
Wait, do I see that she's casting a spell?
She's simply looking at it, so it's not like a wizard casting a spell. She simply looks at him and says, "Will you bow for me, human?"
I got a 20.
20 is amazing. So you hold your back and you resist the attack on your mind, and she smiles and says, "This could be much easier for you all if you simply bow."
I'm gonna summon my necrotic shroud, which means skeletal wings spout from my back. My eyes turn into two black pools of darkness. Nobody needs to make any saving throws because you're far enough away.
So when you do that, you explode into this ghastly creature. Chazra, who was glued to Peleus, kind of leaves Peleus, looks at you, Andrist, and she says, "Oh, brother."
Oh.
You are my new boy.
I don't know what that means. She asked Martin. All right.
The ice switch says, and she directs the question to all of you. Your blood doesn't have to be staining the floors of my temple. It can remain in your veins if you choose so. If you choose otherwise, I assure you, there will be one death, and it won't be mine.
I'll step forward towards her, and I've already bent the knee to one master, I won't bend to you as well.
Okay. Rukvi, you are being attacked by 6 barbarians. You and Harshnag. So, 3 of them simply ignore your elk and jump at you. They are holding those nasty double axes. So as they approach you, they make 2 attacks with each one. Excuse me. So, first attack hits. Ooh, that's a natural 20. Yes,
Oh, man.
we love those, right? So that's
Who doesn't?
who doesn't? So that's a 5 and actually that's 7 plus 3. So that's 10 points of slashing damage from a single attack. The other attack is a natural 2, so it doesn't hit. The second barbarian comes at you and hits AC 16. Does that hit?
I have 19.
19. So you dodge out of the way the first attack. The second attack is a natural 1, so he slips a little bit. But then the third barbarians come charging in. The first attack you manage to duck below it. The third attack, like his second attack, you also dodge. Harshnag is fighting the 3 others. So the first one actually scored a hit for 5 points of damage. Second attack misses. Second barbarians, 1 attack hits. 7 damage. The second attack misses. The third barbarian, we have 1 hit and 1 miss. Harshnag comes next. He gathers from the ground this large chunk of snow and rock and simply drops it on one of the barbarians. That's like a lot. Okay, so the barbarian is gravely wounded, but is still up. What's your move?
I want to charge towards the spectral.
Okay,
creature
so in this
and
case,
get in front of it.
that's fine. You will take attacks of opportunities from 3 barbarians as you try to simply ignore them and rush forward.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So the first attack hits AC 17, which doesn't hit you.
Bing.
Ping. Second attack is a 24, so that's a hit. And you take 6 points of slashing damage. The third attack is a 25, which brings you up to, that's plus 5, that's 12 points of slashing damage. So
Okay.
you kind of, blood stains the walls of the glacier as you rush after this spectral creature.
Alright. I shove through them. I gallop up to the spectral creature, go around it and skid like Tokyo Drift and
Okay.
in front of it, and then I look straight into its face. If it has any, and I'm going to use my channel divinity and turn the faithless. So I can turn each Fey or Fiend.
So it's not
Okay.
that or that.
Oh, I think he's gonna do it. And he's gonna just put his hammer up and say the words, and there's like light,
Okay.
and I'm guessing he just walks through me.
So as you cast your spell and light illuminates all of your surrounding, it reflects from the ice and it kind of it gives more character and form to the creature, and you can see it's the spectral reflection of Wyneth.
Who?
Wyneth, one of the sisters, and Rukvi, you suddenly remember that you've seen her put a scroll case into her pocket.
She was the good.
As I have the hammer up and I see it and nothing's happening, she's like, "What? Wyneth?" He yells, and he tells her again to stop. Stop where you are.
Was Gwyneth the one that was on
intimidated.
our side, or she? Right?
She was.
Yeah.
She was in her side.
Well, sure, but she killed. Well, she attacked her sister, the traitor, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So, as you stand there, do you attack it or not?
If I can attack her, I mean, I used my
It.
action to. If you allow me to attack her, then, or it,
Use your action to do what?
my channel divinity. I used the turn the faithless, which takes an act.
But what does it do? Sorry.
Oh, each fey or fiend.
Nothing.
Oh, got it. No, so it basically charges through you and attacks you.
Attacks me.
Yep. So it moves through you, and you kind of dodge out of the way as it swirls around you, but then it focuses and zooms in on you, and you can feel icy or knife-like fingers go into your throat, into your eyes, into your ears, and blood starts exploding all around you.
Good lord.
And you take 15 points of slashing damage from this creature's attack.
It was nice knowing you, Rookby.
Rookby is good.
Okay. And then the creature simply moves on and enters the mouth of the tunnel.
Rookby's getting ready to charge back. Try something else.
Okay. In the meantime, in the cave, Galen, your creature, your soulless companion, strolls by and says, "You won't believe what I found inside one of the caves, just beyond the portal, just beyond the column. It's amazing."
Well, tell me, please.
I'll give you 3 guesses.
Sorry.
The Ice Witch is looking at all of you. But you came here, so what do you want? I hope there are no illusions of redemptions of your side. There will be none. I will give my father only death if I see him.
While she's saying this, I'm taking a deep. I'm trying to analyze this stalactite with the runes. I'm trying to see if I can understand any of them.
Okay. So let's roll for initiative just so I can count the rounds, because it will count. It will. It's important.
All of us initiative?
Yeah.
Or
Quarian has 11.
Quarian with 11. Okay.
10
Forgar
Galen.
with 11.
Forgar with 11 too.
Pelias with an 11.
I see a pattern. And the rest?
12.
Clustered neatly. Galen?
10 for Galen.
Oh my god.
Wow.
The earth elemental goes on an 8.
8. Okay, and
Oh, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I did not believe that Quarian will be first with 11.
okay. So yeah, so okay, that's fine. Galen, Aquarian, and the rest.
Sorry, I got a 14 out of 12.
Oh, Pasero. Got it. So
Wow, you're
so
so fast.
Alright, Andres as well, sorry.
okay, so Andres, you go first, sorry.
Okay, I'm just going to reach out to Galen there telepathically and say, what do you want to do here?
Oh, another voice. Shit.
That's 2 voices too many.
Just what I needed. And you hear me answer like, so is it a lot of cultists chanting over a dragon? Bones? It's probably the first thing you hear.
Yeah. Okay.
So and then you hear the voice says, "How did you know?"
What?
What?
What did you say?
I gave you 3 guesses. You guessed it on the first one. It's amazing.
Oh.
You're so smart. You've been doing it a lot.
Do I hear this?
No.
I don't know if you could hear that.
Yeah, you're in his head, right?
Oh yeah, it's like a triple mind link.
Yes, cultists summoning the dragon, chanting. I heard that earlier. Let's. Can you maybe try to convince her that we will deal with her, but you need to. We need to make the deal at the Evermelt pool to lure her there.
I could try.
She probably won't fall for it. I would fall for it, but
Because that's saying so
So
much.
I'm guessing that's action. How far away am I from her?
Oh, how far you want to be?
I don't know. 50 feet.
Half a continent away.
How far can I be? What's the longest range spell I have? Say 40 to 50 feet, somewhere in and around.
Amazing.
Cast
If I
wave
can.
below.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll move a little bit. I'll just adjust myself, and that's it. I'm just waiting. I mean, I said no. I'm not gonna act before the rest of the party.
Okay, that
makes
makes
a decision
sense.
here.
That makes sense. Quarian, what do you want to do?
So I analyzed the pillar over there to see.
Okay,
if I
right.
can-
So make an Arcana check for me.
Ooh, wow. Okay. So that's Arcana. Okay, I got a 16.
Okay, so with a
including the disadvantage.
So with a 16, you realize that the runes on the ice pillar, this is actually what makes this whole cave so cold. But you believe it's not just an effect like a trap or something like that. It actually fuses something. So all this cold energy is flowing towards something. And you know, you can guess that this somehow is connected to the fact that there is probably a dead dragon lying somewhere in the complex. You believe that if you will destroy the pillar or undo the magic, it might even cause this whole cave complex to collapse.
Cool. Okay.
Let's do that.
You believe that the water flowing in are a sign that this was maybe a flooded cave once. So if it wasn't so cold, maybe things will simply implode.
All right. I tells the witch. I actually do try to convince her that not an action. I just talk to her. I tell her, your father really misses you. He really misses a child that you once. Do you remember that child?
She says, "My father only misses my power. I have become strong. They have thrown me to the winter, but I prevailed. I have carved my own destiny from the ice itself. And now I'm ready. I will raise my mate, my soulmate that you have killed, and I will come after you first, and then the tribe of the elk, and then the tribe of the bear, and then everybody in the tundra will bow to me."
Okay, who's next on initiative?
Next.
I think it's Forgar.
Oh god.
Convince
Can I make some kind of check to see if I can deduce this same thing that the stalagmite is what I should be
Sure.
charging at?
Yeah, make a simple intelligence check, since you are... I'm assuming you're not an Arcana...
Oh, that's a 10.
A 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do feel that most of the cold is emanating from that pillar. And while it doesn't look very fragile, you do believe that hitting it a few good time with a solid axe might do the trick. But you might not have made a connection that dropping this pillar will collapse the tunnel. So
Yeah.
I'm leaving it for you to roleplay.
So I don't think it's gonna collapse the tunnel, but there's definitely magic, and I will deduce that, and then I just want to charge. Just want to like shoulder, try and jump and break this thing,
Amazing.
aiming for the like skinniest bit of it.
Okay, so do you want to use your axe? Do you want to use your axe or simply headbang it? Like, what's the plan?
I left my axe. I joined the.
Oh, right,
don't
right.
bring any weapons
Yes,
in,
yes.
So
Okay, so
can I?
sure, make a strength check for me as you run.
Can we call it athletics?
Come on, headbutt the pillar. Headbutt the pillar.
Disadvantage. Do you have
No, I
disadvantage?
passed my Constitution
Oh.
check. Thank you very much. That doesn't change the fact that it's an 8.
Okay, so in this case, you run into the pillar, trying to bodily attack it, and you
Yeah.
smack so hard against it that you reel from the impact, like your tongue is kind of.
Seeing a little birdie.
Yes,
float
exactly.
above my head.
Make a Constitution saving throw. See if you can.
Sure, no problem. I'll just do great at that. That is an 18.
Okay, so you can feel your mind kind of, the brain kind of moves inside the skull, but then you shake it back into
It
place.
rattles back to where it's
No effect whatsoever.
awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So,
Okay.
like, does that count as one attack? Because I'll totally
Go ahead and make another one.
Do we think breathing lightning will, like, I'm gonna try and, like, charge it with lightning. That's what I'm doing.
Go for it.
18.
18.
Does that hit?
A definite hit. So
An
you.
inanimate object?
You don't need to roll. You don't need to roll to hit with your breath weapon.
Oh, you're totally right.
It has a saving throw.
But you did roll an 18. Good job.
Yeah.
That's
Good
right.
thing I threw that away.
So
Okay,
actually,
so can it make a dex check?
it doesn't.
Is it a cone or is it a straight line? I think it's a straight line with lightning, isn't it?
It's a
No.
5 by 30 line.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so you simply attack it. You hit it. It doesn't move. You move, but like reeling from. But you simply attack it. So roll for me. Roll your lightning damage. I think it's 2d10 or something
Yeah.
like that. Okay.
No, it's only d6. Unless I missed that needing to level up at some point.
Okay.
I think it goes up to a D8.
Yes! That is 12 and 3 is 15 damage.
15 damage.
Best lightning strike ever.
Okay, so blocks of ice kind of explode from it as you hit it with your lightning breath, and the witch shrieks in anger, but it's not her turn. So,
Can Corin just use his reaction to scream at Forgard, "Don't, you idiot!"
What? To
What?
breathe lightning back along your direction.
Galen, what do you want to do?
I think it's Pelias first, but
Maybe.
I think you skipped him.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. Correct. Forgar, Peleus, and then Galen. Correct.
Okay, so in the blink of an eye before everything goes crazy around here, I will take a step forward and try to convince her not to make a big scene. Basically, I tell her What makes you think that we are not just gonna kill your dragon again? We did it last time, just us, and we
Intimidation?
were in a
That's a very
pretty
good.
bad situation.
This is an amazing intimidation check.
We were
And
surprised, and
and
now we have the elk tribe on our side and everything.
so because of that, I will even allow you to do that with advantage. So it will cancel the disadvantage that you have, because that's a very good point.
Okay. Okay, that's a 9.
Okay. So she considers what you said. She doesn't seem intimidated, but she is pointing at Forgar and saying, "If you stop this nonsense, maybe we can talk."
I'll stop to talk. What do you want to talk about? We gonna do this?
So are you kind of laying it back, Forgar?
Well, I will stop actively. Like, you know, all I did last was breathe lightning, and that's just like an attack, and then it stops. But
Sure.
I'll turn and look at her and be like, oh, let's talk then.
Okay. Galen, what do you want to do? That was very good, Payless.
Yeah, I'll. I assume the mental link to Anders is still going on.
Sure.
Try to keep talking her and convince her to step down. I'll go see if I can stop the ritual in the other room, and I'll sneak off.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Roll your roll your stealth.
That's I have a +8, so that's 10.
Did you roll with disadvantage?
Yeah, even if it wasn't disadvantage, it's still better roll a 10. So the first roll.
Well, you might roll a 1.
It was with disadvantage. The other was a 22, but I would have needed advantage for that.
Okay, so Rukvi, you hear Harshnag shouting at you, "I will take care of all the rest," and you can see him kind of, Hulk Hogan them, basically jumps and gathers all the 6 in his arms and, falling on top of them, making sure they exactly.
Go Harshnag, go Harshnag.
Making sure you are free to charge into the cave. So you run after, or you kind of gallop after this creature, and I need you to make a dexterity check to avoid slipping on those slippery steps.
Oh boy! All right.
There's a rope that he might be able to use over there.
Right, correct. So I'll give you an advantage because
If you're thinking.
as you are riding, you can see
On your elk?
Yeah.
How's that rope gonna help an elk?
They have like barbed feet that can
Barbed? Where are you from?
from
Barbed.
Forgotten
I
Realms.
want studded shoes.
I've got a degree in zoology. Elk have barbed fangs, so please.
Thanks.
Big 9 on my dexterity save.
Okay.
So tired.
So, you start to tumble. Your elk loses its grip, and it actually looks at you like, "What were you thinking?" And then you simply slip down the stairs. But as you slip down the stairs, you can see this creature still running down, and you can see blue lights, like pinpoints of lights, following you. And you hear some sort of a giggle as you.
As I pass by this person, can I try to swing at her?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Slide by?
Yeah.
With
Oh my god. It's like
with a bonus action, I'll cast Snaring Strike on my weapon.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty cool.
can you
No, but I mean, Rookvi is a simple-minded.
can you cast as you're falling?
It's only verbal somatic.
It's a fun scene. I have to allow it.
Yeah.
Only all of them.
He only has to concentrate, perform delicate moves as he slides down a slippery, icy tunnel. Go for it.
With an elk falling on top of him.
Yeah.
Don't forget the words
Alright,
of power.
So I'm gonna make an attack and one-handed.
Maybe
That's
the words
23
of
to
power
hit.
and the complicated action is falling.
It's
Every time he
eight
trips, he
bludgeoning
casts
damage
ensnaring
plus
strike.
Wait. What was the attack roll?
23 to hit.
Oh, amazing.
Okay.
It's I'm doing 8 bludgeoning damage plus 1 piercing damage from the vines.
Okay.
This person has to make a strength saving throw
Mm-hmm.
or restrained by magical vines. So the spell and
Okay, so you hit it, you hear it shriek, and then vines ensnare it, and then you feel as if you are being pulled up into the air as this creature is flying. So do you grab your hammer or do you leave it?
oh yeah.
Okay, so
No, I hold on.
okay, so the elk kind of looks at you like you're leaving me here.
Or?
I tell him like, find somewhere safe to.
Okay.
Like Monty Python attacking the French castle.
So you fly above this spectral creature who is entering a big round hall. There's a mighty pillar inside, carved with all kinds of tiny, tiny runes, and a horrible cold, a wave of cold hits you. I need to make a Constitution saving throw as you grab the hammer and flying into the scene.
Nice.
I'm assuming that's something good.
Oh,
I don't-
20.
Okay, so as you enter the hallway, you can hear the ice witch saying, "Well, if he stops then all this nonsense, we can talk." And then everyone kind of stand and relax because there was some sort of a commotion down there. And then this spectral creature jumps on the ice witch and starts
You guys.
tearing her up. You can see blood, blue blood flying from her, and she shrieks, "Betrayal!" And actually, it's her turn. I kind of skipped it because that scene of you was amazing. But on her turn, she will do something nasty.
Am I muted?
Did I
Probably.
go flying with her? Did I go flying with her?
What do you mean, flying with her?
My vines wrapped around.
Yeah. You are flying with this creature. Now, as you enter the cave, some of your friends are holding torches. You can see it's a winged gargoyle made of ice. So it actually can carry your weight. So, two things happen. She screams as the creature attacks her, and then with the force of her rage only, she emits an explosion made of ice. Icy shards fly everywhere around the room. Now, since Galen is not there because you slipped away, everyone else need to make a dexterity saving throw. As
This is not a spell, right, Ido?
so it is a spell, but it's not a wizard spell. So she doesn't gesture or speak. It's simply she explodes.
Okay.
But it is a spell. If you want to dispel it or counter it, or that's fine.
Alright, so in that case I will try to counterspell it then.
Okay.
I have the Aura of Warding that I never use because I'm a kick-ass paladin, and anyone from
Yeah, I
within
should've
10
used
feet
that
of
when I
me
got-
have resistance to damage from spell.
So, Query, can you simply counter as a reaction, right?
Yeah.
So go for it.
And so is it the third level or lower spell?
No, it's higher.
Okay, so
Ouch.
okay, then in that case I need to make an ability check using my spellcasting ability.
Mhm.
And my DC is 10 plus the spell's level, so I'll throw.
Does-
I'll tell you how much I got, and
Does exhaustion affect this?
okay, I got.
Affect what?
The ability check.
Yes, it should. You have disadvantage on ability checks. So if it is an ability check, then you have a disadvantage.
Sorry.
Okay, is it an ability check then?
I don't know. You should tell me.
It is an ability check.
Okay.
Right, okay. Sorry. Yes.
That sounded good.
Yeah,
that was
it's
not
a
like
it's
joke.
a Hebrew word for amazing. I did it. It's
what I
Yiddish.
heard.
It's Yiddish for great.
Okay, so so no, I couldn't dispel it then.
Okay, so you try to say no, and then.
Okay.
So dexterity checks. Saving throw. Sorry.
12.
12 for Enderist. Forgar, how much?
7.
7.
Oh.
Quarian,
15.
15. Peleus.
I'm so bad at any type of saving throw. I got a 2.
And two
Yeah.
is
Don't
better
forget,
than a
don't
one.
forget Shazra. Maybe
Yes.
she can fail and die.
Shazra.
Don't kill our companion.
She
I
failed.
hate her.
She failed.
Me too,
Good.
but we still don't kill our companion.
Okay, so
Didn't kill her.
everyone except Quarian. So Quarian, you're the only one who succeeded. So let me.
Got 22.
Oh, yeah, but you
Well,
are
you're in the
flying there. Yeah. Wait. So why I don't have your name here? Okay.
What about her sister?
Join.
Wait. That's not that's a creature. It will also take damage. That's fine. So that's so you're taking all of you. That's 7 plus 2. So that's 9 piercing damage from all of you except Quarian. That's 9 piercing damage from the ice shards, plus.
When you have resistance to like a spell damage, do you round up or?
Plus 13 points of damage from the cold. So it's a total of 22 points of damage for everyone except Quarian. Quarian, you take half of that, so that's 11 points of damage. Plus,
So,
all of the cave is now difficult terrain. So that's
I quit.
so that's
Okay.
the first thing that happened. The second thing that happened, because it's the end of the turn after Rukvi's turn, you all need to make another Constitution saving throw because of the cold.
Oh crap!
hold on. So, who's within 10 feet? Because they have resistance to the damage. Is it a spell or is
Oh, I
it just like.
ran up.
It's
Ah, sucks to suck.
yes, it is a spell.
Warren got a
Then
he's got a
just make-
14.
14.
Does
I got
Julia
an
need
8.
to make the save also, or
What?
is it the entire? I left the cave, the room. Do I need to make the save
Yes, because the cold is throughout the entire. So Galen, how did you do?
also? 8.
8, amazing. Peleus?
Complaining last round was a good idea. I got a 19 this time.
Nice.
Rukvi?
13.
13. Enderist?
8.
8. Forgar?
11.
11. Chazra? Oh, she's also freezing. So all of you, except Peleus, take another level of exhaustion on top of what you had before. So if you have 2 levels of exhaustion, you have disadvantage on ability checks, plus your speed is halved.
Oh crap!
Okay? Chazra at this point, She starts the round. She will sneak and follow Galen, or at least she'll try. Quite successfully. So you guys, unless you're very like, well, she disappears basically. If you, those of you who are perceptives might see her slip right after Galen, who was also not very discreet. So, make perception checks.
Whoa. 22.
7.
17.
Okay.
Remember, this is not as
17.
if we have exhausted level 2. 1.
Ah, fuck. Ah,
Oh, right.
wasted a goddamn 20.
12.
How dare you make me
Ditto.
roll that on there?
Yep, I got a crit.
Okay.
I got a 13, so another 22.
So, Rukvi, from your vantage point up the cave, you can hear those barbarians that you've left behind you. Some of them are shouting, and they are probably gathering at around the opening of the cave. So it will take them maybe a round or two to get here, but you can definitely hear them. Okay.
I cut my mouth and I say, "More incoming." I'm holding the hammer.
Yeah.
flying
So
around.
so everyone
Hey,
basically
Rukvi,
who rolled above 15 hears that. Enderist.
did you bring our weapons?
Yes, he has your weapons.
Does
They
that mean
didn't
that Harshnag is
down
down?
with the
They're on my elk.
Yeah.
To find somewhere safe. So.
Son of a
I don't know, the elk is
bitch.
sliding down into the room, like it's in the center of the room.
No, he told him to find someplace safe.
Yeah, but come on. This is all ice. It's like Bambi on ice.
It's
just
running.
sliding
It's
into
running
the-
up the tunnel, so it's not going anywhere.
Ambient ice, that's amazing.
I feel like that reference deserves to longer equipment and get in.
My elemental goes on an 8. Does it get to go?
So we are now at the beginning of the round. So and you are on 13 or 14, I think. So.
But it went last round.
Oh, sure. So please just remind me next time.
Sure. It goes on an 8.
But,
So it's gonna rise up
Mhm.
behind her, adjacent to the stalactite, stalagmite mound, and it's going to attack the stalagtite mound.
Amazing.
They scream again. Don't destroy it.
So what?
Ah.
Does he have advantage attacking an inanimate object or something like that?
No,
Double
simply
damage.
simply attack it.
Does double damage.
Which has a low. Yeah, it does. I know it's a siege. So 13 and a 15 to
Okay.
hit.
Okay.
And double damage. Not double damage. Does double damage, right? Double damage.
Yes, double damage.
Yeah, 3, 4, 12. So 24. Oh, wait. No, that's. Oh, wait. Sorry.
So it
So 18 and.
it punches the pillar.
18 and 22. So 30. 40 damage.
40 damage, and this is on top of what Forgar did to the pillar before. So large chunks of ice start to fall from it, and the ice witch doesn't seem to be aware as she is fighting this creature which engulfs her. So that was Anderist, not Anderist. This was the creature. So Anderist, you go now.
All right. So as a free action, I'm going to summon my Hound of Ill Omen. That's all of my sorcery points, and command it. Well, it's going to attack the witch,
Okay.
and I'm going to use my healing hands as my action on myself. Heal myself a bit.
Okay. So does the hound act on your turn?
Yeah. No, I roll initiative for it.
Okay.
Might be easier to just make it go and get.
Yeah, might be easier.
Same
So
potential. Just
It's got a movement of 50. Can it attack her this round then?
Let's assume not, because this is difficult terrain, so it can only move like half of that. So it kind of scampers on ground, approaching her. Probably next
So
round.
it'll spend its full round yet moving there, but okay.
Okay.
So it's there at least, right?
Amazing. Quarian, what do you want to do?
Yeah, scream to Peleus. Can you dispel this pillar before these guys destroy it?
I
And
can try.
okay. I'm going to try to walk over to. I see where these guys, where Galen and Chazra were walking off to. I'm going to follow them.
Okay.
Um,
So you slip on the ice and like trying to find your balance, but slowly you make way to where Chazra is going. And indeed, as you follow her, you can see an opening, a dark opening just behind the pillar. So it's kind of camouflaged, but you now see it. And there's another tunnel leading inside. So Galen is probably there, and Chazra vanishes inside it.
okay, I'm putting my torch. I'm sticking my torch over there on the opening,
Okay.
and I'm continuing forward. I have a dark vision, so
Great. So you move inside this tunnel, again, very slowly because of the ice. And you can see that the walls of this tunnel are carved with what appears to be like, how do you call it? Like
That's
etched. Come on, help me, guys. It's like it's
that's the
What?
right word.
what?
Runes.
Etching is the right word.
Not
It's
not
like
not runes.
carved into
Yeah,
this-
carved into like a place to put things.
Oh,
like a
alcove.
cubby.
Alcoves, exactly. Alcoves, exactly. So it has alcoves, and inside them there are small statues of icy dragons in all kinds of shapes and pose, like miniatures, standing there. And so as you go through the corridor, you can see it is
what is it made of?
ice.
Ice?
Steal or break.
Any of them? Oh, okay. Does it look like any of this magical? I probably can't tell, right? Without any detect magic or something.
Correct.
Okay. I move on. I'll grab one of the statues and I'll continue on.
Okay, so you take one of the statues and you move on. Forgar, what do you want to do?
So we're not talking this over anymore. That's I stopped. I agreed to what's going on, but I guess I'm all aboard getting rid of that pillar in the middle. I'm totally ready to attack them.
Okay.
And I don't. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep going for brute force.
Okay.
What do you want me to roll for?
Simply a strength check. So with
Okay, cool. That's an 18. Oh,
Oh.
it's is that a disadvantage?
Yes.
Perfect. It's a
If you-
17. Yes. And what is it? 6 for? What do you want me to roll for damage?
so if you bodily
Yes,
attack
do
it, if you simply smash into it, yeah, you can roll 1d10. That's like a whole bodily attack, like this big dragonborn is throwing itself on the pillar.
Yeah. So yeah, like what do you want me to roll? Do I need to roll
1d10.
anything for
No,
that?
no. Simply
1d10. Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. 7.
7. Okay, so you smash into it, and more ice is falling from the ceiling.
If it's still up, I'm gonna use my second attack
Okay.
to try again. That is 12.
12 still hits it.
Yeah, and 8 damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So
crush this
cracks now appear on this icy formation. It looks to like nearly ready to topple. So
Okay.
that
Did Rukvi come in with the weapons?
only his
No,
mace
that's hiding.
and the elk was carrying all the weapons, kind of slid down the corridor. But then Rukvi told him to find a safe place, so he basically turned away and is heading towards the barbarians. When he'll get up there, he'll decide it's not safe, so he'll probably go down.
Poor elk.
Peleus, what do you want to do? So the
I
the
was
witch is
originally-
yeah.
Originally, I want to go for the Dispel Magic as AB suggests, but I guess I will just... I mean, if it already has cracks, I will just turn into a polar bear and smash it
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Collapse the only thing holding this room.
Okay. So
Well,
go.
This is on par for our planning. I wouldn't say planning, just sort of let's do whatever happens, and it's like the most stupid thing, and let's do that.
Wait a minute. That's not the goal here. Have I been doing this all wrong?
Clearly, it is the goal.
Okay, so I sink my teeth in this pillar for 20
No. I'm imagining the bear with the tongue kind of stuck on the ice, and it's glued there.
You just pull it loose.
I did roll a 23 though,
Amazing.
and then I claw it with a 16 to hit.
Okay, so both are in. Roll your damage.
Both are in. So that is 9 on the first hit, and another 9. So 18
Amazing.
in total.
Okay, so with a total of more than 60, 70 almost damage, the pillar starts to crumble. At this point, the wave of cold is kind of, it dissipates. And Galen, at this point, you are at a large hall lit by crystalline stones that emit this greenish light all around the hallway, all around the hall. And you can see the bones of a dragon piled up neatly and formed into the form of a sleeping dragon curled around its tail. Around it there are 6 barbarians belonging to the tribe of the bear, but they are wearing different cloaks. The bears that they have taken the cloaks, the skin from, are white, and they have jars in front of them that emit this bluish smoke that is colored in a strange color of green because of the lighting, and they breathe it and puff it on the skeleton. They breathe it in and they puff it into the skeleton as they chant. As you go in, behind you, the wave of cold is over, and then the whole complex starts to shake. The bones kind of skittle. The barbarians look around in shock.
Good. How close to collapsing does it seem to be, all this, like this cave system?
So, do you remember the scene in Indiana Jones in which he kind of removed the statue, the golden statue, from the pillar there? So it took him like a couple of seconds to understand what's going on. You feel like very similarly.
So, okay, shouting these cultists to interrupt the ritual, or maybe turn around and run away?
That's a good question.
You gotta protect your friends.
Could you
It
put a fireball?
it seems like the cultists have stopped chanting anyway.
They have, but make a straight wisdom check for me. You are a monk, so you understand something of the spiritual world.
Okay. Insight maybe, or just wisdom?
Wisdom.
Is it with disadvantage? Or?
If you suffer from exhaustion, then yes.
Damn it. So that goes from a 22 to a 9 then.
Okay, 9. So yeah, they've stopped the ritual. Everything is safe. You can go home.
Perfect.
But, like, there's not huge blocks of ice coming down on my head yet.
Not yet.
No. And it seemed like it was below somewhere. Like, what was it?
What do you mean
On the
below?
edge, like the room, like were they on the edge surrounding the
Yes,
bones, and
yes.
the bones were like below them, or was it like a plain room at the same level?
Same level. So yeah, got it. It's the same level. The cultists, the barbarians, are simply surrounding the skeleton, and it's now shaking. But you're not sure if it's because of the ritual, or because of the earthquake that is shaking the whole place down.
Okay. I'll still go and stop this.
Okay.
I would like to charge the nearest cultist. I know my speed is half, but I have insane speed anyway.
Okay. So
Monk speed.
sure. So what do you simply want to dispatch it?
Farmer speed.
Farmer speed.
I will charge the nearest cultist, attacking him or her. I don't judge, and pushing them into the bones, so like I'm crushing them into the bones, hopefully.
Okay. Where did you put all the shards of the tooth that you have destroyed? Like, did you divide it between all of you?
That
We
was the
didn't
plan.
bring any of
We
it with us,
destroyed
so
the
it's
tooth?
So it's with Harsnack and Rufy. I don't know what they did with it. I don't have any of it on me.
Oh,
It's in my
so
pocket.
okay, in the hallway. In the hall. Okay, makes sense. Good. So yeah, make your attack roll.
Yeah, I will make a ton of attack rolls.
Okay, do
That's
that.
19 to hit. That's how. That was
Is it fists and legs or is it?
fist and legs and everything, and hopefully riding one of these cultists down on top of these dragon bones too.
Okay, so as you punch him, it appears to be a him. He doesn't try to stop you, but with each punch and blood that oozing from his mouth, he shouts at you. You are making a big mistake.
Oh, sorry. What was that? I couldn't hear what you were saying over your bones breaking.
Roll your damage. Let's see if you survive to say anything more.
Do they actually hit? Well, there was a natural one that doesn't hit, but does a 14 hit?
A 14, I will tell you in a minute. Yes, I think so. Yes.
Okay. So from the 2 attacks that hit, it's a total of 13 points of damage only. That was like 1 from minimum.
Okay.
But what I really want to do is like push him into the dragon bones to at least disturb them.
Okay. So you actually kill him. You kick him and hit him so hard, and you do indeed manage to push him into the bones and scatter them. But when he falls there, he is dead. And the other cultists, that they kind of turn to you and said, and one of them shouts, "No, please don't. The ritual has already begun. You're making a grave mistake."
And then I'll say to them, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear you," as I'm holding on to one of the one I just killed's head and just smashing it into one of the bones. I can't hear you over these bones breaking.
You
How did you turn evil?
Evil!
you hear a voice.
Stopping an evil ritual.
You hear a voice in your head saying, me, please, 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 me.
Yeah, okay, soulless companion, I unleash you. Stop this ritual somehow.
So this creature emerges from you and shrieks, "Wee!" and it falls on one of the barbarians, and then you can hear this gruesome sucking sound, and the cultist or the barbarian starts to it kind of shrivels into this husk of a human, and then it falls like a mummy, and the creature looks at you and says,
I will not give it a thumbs up. I will shut up and say, "Oh shit, that thing is going inside me again. Oh no." I don't think that.
At this point, So that was Galen. Now we have a Harshnag, which is way over there. It's the Earth Elemental's turn. So back in the hallway, in the pillar, everything shakes. So the pillar is gone, and water flow in. They are not frozen anymore. What do you do?
So
What does he do?
it looks like this place is going to come down, and my friends are deeper in the cave,
Yes,
right?
correct.
I'm going to get the elemental to stand in the gap that the stalagmite left and see if he can hold it up.
Oh, amazing. That's a
Nice.
great plan. He clambers onto the what's remaining of the pillar. Make a strength check for him.
Oh, a 20. 25.
Awesome.
So it groans like the stones that make his body groan and crack as it tries to basically hold the ceiling from collapsing. So this just bought you another round. The witch is still fighting with this creature. Let me just see. So apparently she falls down and is looking at the hallway, and she meets the gaze of Forgar, Enderist, Peleus. You guys are there, and she says, "This isn't over yet," and then she turns into ice and then crumbles like as a snowman that has simply been toppled.
Was I next to her because I landed with the creature?
So you're still airborne.
Oh, all right.
So she's gone. It's basically Rukvi's turn right now. So what do you want to do, Rukvi?
How far am I from the ground?
So something like 20 to 30 feet. You can see cracks forming on the domed ceiling. It's made of ice, but the magic that held this place together is gone. You can see the earth elemental that Anderest has summoned. This is the only thing that basically keeps the ceiling from toppling down. It will topple down eventually. You can see the cracks form on the ceiling, just above you. What do you want to do?
I want to take the vines and wrap it around the gargoyle and sort of steer it towards the ground.
Okay.
Crash land.
Yes. Okay, so you pull it and you manage to kind of direct it. So you can release the vines and then land with your hammer. Is it like Thor dropping to the floor?
3-point landing.
Yeah, superhero land.
Okay,
Alright,
make a dexterity check as you land, because the floor is beginning to be flooded with mud and melted ice.
This is advantage, right?
If you have, yeah.
12.
Okay, so with a 12, you manage to land with a 3-point landing that is acceptable. It's kind of, but then you kind of stabilize. So it's
Gonna hurt in the morning.
yeah, but it's still cool.
Yeah. I get up and I look around, and I'm before anything, I'm gonna use lay on hands on myself.
Okay. Okay, great. So you are
up
at
to 49.
amazing. Outside, the barbarians that were about to enter the cave, you can hear them screaming, and then they bolt out. You can hear, "Get away! The tunnel is collapsing!" And then they're all basically gone. Chazra touches your. So she basically, Quarian, you can see her fleeing the cave that Galen went into. She grabs you and says to you, Quarian, "We have to get out of here."
We have to destroy this dragon.
This
There must be a...
the cave will bury us alive if we are not out of here right now.
But there must be another exit.
I haven't seen anything. Do you really want
What
to
about
risk
Galen?
it? He's dead.
What about Galen?
He's dead. Let's go.
No. I'm not leaving him out. I'm not leaving him here.
She gives you a look and then she bolts to the exit, like to the hallway from which you came from.
Okay. I continue at Galen's direction.
Okay. And the rest.
So I'm gonna the ghost creature thing is still there, right?
It's kind of looking to the right and to the left, and then as it looks on the pile of ice that was the ice witch, it dissipates
Oh.
as if its mission was completed.
Did anybody else get a look
So-
at it? Like, do we know that it's our friend?
Well, that was a waste of a Hound of Ill-Omen. It disappears because its target was reduced to 0 hit points, and there's nothing for me to switch it to. Well, shit. And a waste of my Necrotic Shroud. God damn it. First time I had everything out and nothing to attack.
I kind of envision you standing there proud, you know, without having to use
Yeah,
your
he's-
magic. It's problem
That's right.
solved.
Ghostly skeletal wings dripping shadow. And he's like, oh, shit.
It took too long.
I can't see any of the barbarians coming down or anything.
If you want, or the gargoyle is still up there, so
Well, the gargoyle seems to be helping us at this point. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Leave him alone. Well, son of a bitch. I don't know what to do. There's nothing for me to do.
Run away. I do
Yeah.
believe we were at
How-
the point of running away.
Is the magic that had made the ground uneven terrain, is it still...
the magic
Still-
is gone, but it's now difficult terrain because of the mud and the flowing waters. So
Ah, shit. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna back out. I've got nobody telling me to do anything else or giving me any information, so I'm gonna start backing out.
okay, and you are joined by Chazra, who smiles to you and tries to hold your hand as you make
Good.
way to the
Can I cast a
entrance.
spell on her
Sure, it's your action.
Yes.
when she does that? I'm gonna let her grab my hand and I'm gonna cast Chill Touch on her ass. Does she do it? Do I get it?
Sure.
Sure.
So she takes 14 points of necrotic damage, 1d8 because of the spell, and another 8 because of my necrotic shroud.
Okay, how much total?
And she can't regain hit points till the start of her next
Her
turn.
hand falls off.
How how much hit points overall?
14.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
I'm
who
just
do
gonna
you
glare
cast
at her.
on?
Shazra.
Okay.
I don't like her. She tried to touch me. I don't like her.
So she, so her hand kind of, snaps back, and
I'm gonna make it seem like that's just what happens when you touch me. Just don't do that.
Okay, so her hand snaps back. She looks at you, and she smiles and says, "Oh, don't get nasty."
So much. I hate her so much.
And you two are making way out of or trying to make way out of the hall, but it still takes you time. So, for the purpose of this round, you're still inside the complex. So that was Andres. Quarian, what do you do?
Quarian, he's running ahead into the hall. Galen is looking for Galen.
Okay, so as you enter the hallway, making way inside, you can see Galen holding the dead body of a barbarian, smacking it again and again into the bones of the dragon, which are now totally scattered.
The bones are totally scattered.
Yes, and the barbarians who are still in the room, they seem to try to stop Galen, but not in a lethal way. They shout at him, but it's like really hard to hear over all the cracking stone and the noise of everyone are making. If you want, you can roll perception and maybe get a glimpse of what they're saying.
Okay, I got 14.
Okay, so you can hear them shouting at him, "No, don't disrupt the ritual, it's too dangerous. The consequences will be inconceivable. The spirit must lie into the bones, or we're all doomed." But he doesn't pay attention.
I call on to them. Hey guys, over here. What is this thing about the spirit that must rise?
They say, "If the spirit don't enter the bones, it will enter something else, which might be a lot more dangerous than this." As they point to the rotten bones.
How can we banish the spirit?
"We can't. You must help us complete the ritual."
But then you will have a dragon with a spirit inside it.
"The tunnel is about to collapse."
The tunnel has collapsed.
I like that you just calmly talk to her.
Yeah, that's over.
That's collapsing. Actually, it's collapsing on top of me right now. Let's talk about this.
They say, and they kind of gesture upward. "This will collapse. It will bury the dragon. The menace will be over." You get a feeling. Oh, you know what? Roll an insight check.
Wow. I got an 18 and a 20.
Amazing. You believe that they are no longer controlled by the ice witch.
You know what?
They are no longer controlled by the ice witch.
Okay. I try to stop Galen. I pull him aside. I try to I talk to him. I try to make him. I sing him a song. I'm trying to relax him.
Galen, are you
Give
stopped?
him a little massage.
I'll try to counter charm him.
Maybe you can pick up that jar and take a whiff and blow it in.
I'll stop saying and I say I'm totally relaxed, and then I'll do my action on my turn.
Okay.
I'll stop.
Just to throw the skull.
Yeah, I'll stop holding on to the cords that I'm bludgeoning the bones with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. I'm calm.
Forgar.
Yeah, we need to run out of here.
Would I be able to hear that they're talking about?
No, you are still on the main hallway next to the pillar, so you have the
Okay.
option of either go after Galen or maybe run out. Or something else.
Going to run away. I'm
Okay.
gonna start working on my running away.
So you're joining Andrist and Chazra as they run away. That's fine.
Yep.
Peleus.
Okay, I'm gonna dismiss my polar bear form, and I will cast locate creature to see if I still feel like an aura or something of the.
Again, what do you want to do? Cast a spell that says what?
Locate creature,
Which creature?
the witch.
Okay, that's a good spell. So can you kind of figure out if she is on the same plane or something like that, like the heading?
Describe a name or describe or name a creature that is familiar to you. You sense the direction to the creature's location as long as the creature is within 1,000 feet of you.
She's definitely around, but you feel that she's growing distant, as if she's running towards something, and you basically get the vector, but.
Okay. And yes, then I spend my movement to move out of the cave.
Okay. Galen, what do you do?
Yes, as I say, I'm totally calm, so I'll calmly, as I say, yeah, let's run. And as I calmly say that, I will just do 2 attacks as my action, and just shatter like 2 of the spine bones, like the small piece of the spine bones. I assume it's sort of like a human's, like just larger, just
Like
like
vertebrae.
times it does. And then if the skull isn't too heavy, pick that up and then start running out.
Okay.
Take the skull with you.
The skull of the dragon?
Yes.
He's gonna wear
Should
it
be
as
like
a
the
hat.
size of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going
big
to
hat.
look. I think
If
like
I
right
can-
now you're going. You would look right now like Fred Flintstone in his car. pretty much.
Yeah.
Yes, we should turn it into a wagon. Great idea.
Okay.
I'm not sure how big the dragon is, but if it's possible for me to like carry it.
Good. So you are
Yeah.
all trying to make your way out. Basically, Chazra, Andorest, and
I have something I'd like to do on my turn, by the way.
sure,
Me too.
and Forgar are at the front, but still not yet at the opening, but they're very close to it. While Galen, Peleus, and Aquarian are kind of running behind yet. Rukvi, what do you want to do? You basically end up the turn that Andorest Elemental have earned you. So what do you want to do?
I ended the turn what?
So Andorest Elemental, like the creature that he summoned, prevented the ceiling from collapsing in this turn, in this round. So he bought you a round. So what do you want to do? You know that this whole complex is going to collapse.
And I'm in the room with the entrance to the other room where the dragon is that I saw.
Yes. Yep.
Alias went into as well.
Exactly.
Well, then and Anders is running away with Shazra.
Chazra and Forgar, they are heading to the exit.
Running away.
I'm going to where Galen went.
Okay.
I mean, Peleus.
Okay, so you, Peleus, are going into the tunnel and basically meeting with Quarian and Galen as they emerge out. But the first thing you see is a huge draconic skull emerging from the tunnel. And as you gasp, only then you can see that it's actually Galen who is holding it.
Then I skid on the floor and then immediately start going the other direction with them.
Okay. Galen, at this point, the voice inside your head says, well, you know, I just figured out something.
Oh no.
Okay.
Only one of us is not corporal.
Yes.
This is a very big problem for the other one.
Yes. So you can stay here and make sure the ritual isn't completed.
Is-
Yeah.
Endorist, Chazra is running and is about to enter the tunnel. On your turn, I want you to make another strength check for the creature.
Elemental.
Yep.
17.
17 is good. So you and so Chazra is off. She enters the tunnel that leads out. You said you wanted to do something on your turn. So what is it?
Yeah, I want to cast a spell on Shazra.
Do it.
Again?
Yep.
He
I'm
really
going
doesn't
to
like-
No, I really don't like her. She's up to something, and I don't like it. I don't like what she's doing to our druid. I'm gonna burn a third
Doesn't
level spell
everyone
slot.
flirt with our druid?
Yes, I know, and it pisses me off. I'm good.
You're
looking,
just
dude.
jealous.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn a third level spell slot.
I think
Oh,
I'm gonna burn a
man.
third level spell
Wow,
slot.
he's really jealous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn it into sorcery points, which I'm going to use to cast a heightened suggestion on her.
Mm-hmm.
And the suggestion is going to be to get back down there and buy us some time.
Okay.
Oh, what the?
I need one of you to roll her saving throw.
So wisdom saving throw. I
I'm
believe?
gonna do it.
with disadvantage.
Peleus should do it.
Why
Yeah, I
disadvantage?
think it. Because I heightened spell.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
Okay. That's a 13. Not that bad, but probably
Not good
enough.
enough.
Well, it depends on the modifier.
Oh yeah, is there a modifier?
I will tell you in a minute.
It
Plus
might just be
5,
good
probably.
enough. +5, yeah. She's like the most wise person ever.
No, but she's basically a
Draconic
draw.
wisdom.
No, come on. She's a draw wizard or something like that. It's important, but so I'll actually check it. It's not an arachnomancer. Draw mage.
Thank God.
So,
That sounds crazy.
what was the saving throw
I
again?
rolled a 30.
Was it what? Intelligence?
Wisdom.
Oh, wisdom only +1.
It's a 14
Yes.
DC.
14.
So she made it, I think. Right?
Shit. Yeah. Yep, she did. And I can't use my inspiration.
Okay, so in response, because she, she is with the same initiative order with you, she will
do the same back.
That would be awesome.
no, she actually, yes.
Lightning ball. It wouldn't be the first time she fried a party member with a lightning ball.
That's true.
No, she actually tries to levitate you. So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
My good one. 4.
So as you levitate
So
you,
good.
she smiles and pushes you into the room back.
Awesome.
Amazing.
And then,
I told you I hated
and then, the ceiling collapses.
Ah,
No.
And of course, that's where he ends it.
Of course,
And who all's in the room? Galen,
everyone,
Orion,
everyone, but
everybody's still in
she,
except for her.
her, exactly.
Mhm.
And
it's like she was
I'm
planning
gonna
it all
look down.
along.
I'm gonna look
So-
down on Pelios and be like, I told you so.
We're making drop characters now.
Okay, so what? Yeah,
excellent game.
what
Excellent
an,
session.
what an ending.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to wait 2 weeks to see what happens if something happens.
What new characters we come up with next session?
So I need you all to indeed
To
make
go up a level.
to indeed create new characters. The only piece of information I need from it's the same level, use the same level, but the only background you need to tie in is that you are all residents of 10 towns. Okay?
10 towns?
What
So-
can you tell me about 10 towns?
So you can look it up in Wikipedia or Google or whatever. It's a settlement in the north, and
They're
So-
like mostly bandits, aren't they?
yes. So
No, isn't it? Really?
it's kind of a really rough area in the north. So we are all resident of 10 towns. Specifically, let's make it. You know what? I'll tell you exactly.
I'm making a cleric.
TD. Let's assume you are all residents of a small, not that small. Oh, very small. Okay, it's a very, very, very small settlement called Maer Dualdon. I will spell it for you because it's it's Maer Dualdon, and you're currently staying in this place. You can decide if you are a visitor, if you're a traveler, if you are a resident, like someone who lives there. I leave it up to you. and we'll pick it up next session, and it will be very interesting.
Okay.
All right.
Did we die? Are we trapped?
I am not saying anything. All I'm saying is new characters. You
We'll
are
find
Would
out
it-
next time.
yes, exactly.
All right. Can you
Would it be-
in the roll 20?
I will add new character sheets in Roll20. Sure.
I do have a theory about what will happen.
Ito,
I'm.
would it be appropriate for me to use the other character that I already have as my backup? Or should I
no, I
save
think
that for later?
I think so. It's fine. It's actually a good. That's fine.
Nice.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. I'm excited.
Okay. So if you have any conspiracy theories, let me know. You can type them here. Send me emails. I don't know. I'm allowed. I'm willing to listen. But in any case, 2 weeks from now, new characters, and we'll see what happened.
Well,
So I've got a wizard. If anybody's
Oh yeah, I
planning
want
on
to
making
make a
characters.
wizard as well. I miss burning
wizards.
people.
Wrong.
With,
oh,
we've
Yeah,
had 2
love
wizards
it.
before. It worked well.
burning the party member with fireballs.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say I miss friendly firing my own fireball.
So we are all going to make wizards out as well.
Yeah. let's do
Counterspell.
it.
Counterspell. Spell magic. Counterspell.
If you want, you can definitely be like an emissary of the Red Wizards visiting 10 towns. That's totally fine. If you want to do, you want to roll really wild, that's fine.
How funny would that be if we were all wizards, dude?
No, I think I'm gonna try my luck with a fighter. Never played a fighter.
Oh, battle masters are amazing.
Okay, surprise me.
that.
Surprise me.
All right.
All right, so have a great weekend, and
You too.
Thanks. You too.
I'll see you soon.
Or maybe not this weekend. Like, how dare you bury us all alive?
Yeah, right.
have a bad week.
No, because then you'll come back even more angry.
Have a yeah. Think of all the things you've done this session.
No.
Is it like standard equipment,
What?
Standard equipment, or can we?
Yeah,
go above?
underwear and daggers.
All right.
Amazing, guys. It's
All
been,
right.
been a pleasure. See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks for
See you.
DMing.
Yeah, maybe we'll see you next time. Let's see if we want to show up. Bye.
Bye. Good night, guys.